just take a second to listen to these beautiful harmonies with the Ray Charles and Count Basie's band. What is that? Oh my God. So first, let's go ahead and break this down, man. So you have one more time. So, man, that's a very beautiful sound, man. Count Basie's band is and his orchestra is crazy. So, and between Ray Charles' soulfulness, man, it makes that line even more insane. So quickly, let's break it down. Let's figure out what's the idea behind that and how we could come up with our own stuff like that. Okay, so number one, let's go ahead and break it down to its bare chord progression. What is it? 1, 6, 2, 5, right? So our one of the jazz standard chord progression, right? But what they're doing here is number one, they're adding so many extensions to this. And how are they adding these extensions? So if you really pay attention to it, you can hear this melody line, this So that's the melody that they're kind of following, and how they do that. So let's start with the first chord. Let's start with our 1. So they don't resolve it yet. Our melody's on top. Boom, boom. So they do something like this, right? It's like a 4 chord or a 2 chord. 2 chord going to the 1. So they're harmonizing the melody basically. And then when we get here, C7, right? So here's a basic C7. Check out this extension they have, right? So you have the sharp 9, sharp 5, right? And that's that melody. So yeah. So now then, so basically this sharp 5 kind of thing is an A flat chord. Let's have it in first inversion. And then they go to a G flat chord in first inversion, right? For some reason, these chords fit really well, right? Over. And then they do this. So these triads, these are all major triads. That's the crazy thing. I ain't do nothing crazy. These are all major triads, but they're harmonizing. They're harmonizing this melody using major triads. If you have a melody and you really want to create some interesting harmonies, just try major triads at first, right? And then he carries it like that. So, right? So major, G flat major, G major, right? G major over F7. Here's my F7, G major chord. And then they push this B up because you can hear this B wants to move somewhere. And then check this out. Then you have this sharp 9, sharp 5 chord. And then you can kind of hear something like that, outlining that sharp 5. So that's basically all they're doing, man, and it sounds so beautiful. So if I were to do like rootless chords, this is kind of what it would look like. So that's kind of where you're looking at there. Check out these rolls. How am I coming up with these rolls? When you're in a major key and you have a very soulful type of sound, I really advise you to use the 1 major. The 1 major. So if we're in E flat, use 1 major and F minor, and learn all those inversions, right? And then learn the different extensions that go with them, right? right? So you can get some really interesting sounds. That's just a tip out there. But man, 1-6-2-5, and all they're doing right now is harmonizing this melody. So that's another thing to kind of point out is when does this really resolve, right? Because that whole line has you on the edge of your seat because there's so much tension in it, right? So even right here, it didn't resolve yet. Now resolved. And then goes here. Still not resolved. Still not resolved. Still not resolved. And then it finally resolves there. But that's how, if you're making music or you're trying to play music and you're trying to have people on the edge of their seats, a way to do that is to not resolve. Resolve obviously adds a sense of stableness. But if you can throw in a bunch of a bunch of different chords, I'm just playing a bunch of random chords. But if you can throw in some type of sense of unstableness, that'll really get people on the edge of your seats. But the key is not to really overdo it too much, because it can become too much. But they did it in the right way, right? They have some beautiful chords here, right? And then they're like, let's get nasty right here. So that's a really cool way to add some interesting harmonies in your music. Pick a harmony line. So let's just do this before I end the video. Let's pick 5 different notes, and let's choose just like a couple chords. So let's choose something like that. This is completely improv, all right? This is completely improv. So we're choosing something like this. This already has kind of a particular sound. But how did they harmonize in Come Live With Me by Count Basie? So they start off here, right? So basically they have their root chord on top of the harmony. So whatever the harmony is, that's the chord they're following. So A flat chord, G flat chord. So yeah. They have that. So my harmony's on top. A flat. So let's try to do something with that. So that's our first chord. So I forgot already. So something like that. So now we're gonna go up, because we're going up here. So then what would be this note? Probably A flat. And then what we have? B? Something like that. So if we were right here. So something like that. Sorry, I'm sorry. That's what it is. It's right there. I'm starting right here. But anyways, you kind of get the idea. I'm gonna probably mess myself up trying to figure this out. But you get the idea. If you have a note, like, try to harmonize it. Just using major triads. As you can see, it has already a particular sound, which I think is pretty cool. But anyways, the video's been long enough. But I just wanted to kind of give you a nice little breakdown. Just want to kind of give you a little breakdown of those notes they were kind of doing and their thought process behind that. But that's all I got for you guys today. Peace out.